Hello, world. Now, I want to thank everybody for the very first episode, October 4th, 2021. Real Talk Barca, live and direct. Now, this is just going to be a quick intro, just to introduce you guys to the channel. If you guys look around, my channel's been around a while, but I haven't really been posting anything. I've just been pretty much just going around and making comments. But over the last few weeks to months, actually, you know what? I'm gonna say about a year's time. Ever since the whole Bartomeu re-election, I've been noticing a trend. Even before that, I've been noticing a trend in the media as well as a trend on the social media sites. These Barca sites, fan channels, they're way too negative. Um, it's all emotion, all right, and it's tiring listening to the emotion, so-called grown men crying over nonsense, just over narratives. Like, if you go to all these Barca channels, they're all narratives. They're hot. When's the last time anyone's actually told you anything about the game, was actually discussed anything about the game, has said why is Pedri on the national team at 18 and considered a mainstay? Well, guess what, people? The coach that got him to the Spanish national team as a mainstay is our coach now. Same coach, right? You don't like him for whatever reason, that's personal. And that's what we're going to be discussing. Um, just the narratives. So there's a few narratives that I want to dispel, a few narratives I want to get rid of. And I'm going to, in the coming videos, we're going to look into those. We're going to look at a lot of the positives. I mean, there's so many positives on this team, but the narratives have just been like taking over the issues. I mean, we've got so many great young talent. And when I say young talent, I mean young. These are still teenagers. These are still kids. And we got two of them playing on the Spanish national team. The Spanish national team is ranked as one of the top ranked national teams in the world. And we've got Pedri and we've got Fati guaranteed on that team as long as they stay healthy. Now we also look like we're going to have Gavi. So when we get into it in the next episode, we'll be dropping that later on today. Um, it will be a breakdown on the skill sets of both of Fati, Pedri, and Gavi, and how the future of Barcelona is so bright, so bright, that the narratives really just proves that the narratives don't make any sense. And I'll be getting into those narratives. I might be calling out some of these fan channels. They're not really fan channels. They're parasite channels. Like, there's a lot of parasite channels. Some of the biggest Barcelona channels are really just parasite channels. So we'll get into that. I'm going to get into why Koeman is actually the best manager for Barcelona. We're going to be breaking down the tactics that I could see him using, it bothers me because you have all these so-called fan channels and they pretend like they don't understand what he's doing simply because they just don't want to. And we're going to break down some of the problems with Barcelona. There's some defensive issues that I see, especially with Eric Garcia. I mean, our biggest problem right now is Eric Garcia, PK, and Busquets. They're all slow, right? They all play in the center of the pitch and they're all slow. So that's our problem. Forget coaching, forget everything else. If we've got a center that is slow and weak, right? So guys can push over Busquets or they can run by Busquets. There's always been Busquets' issue. Guys can push over and run by PK. Guys can push over and run by Eric Garcia. So if you match anybody with speed or strength against any one of those three guys, there's going to be a hole. That's our problem. And if you look at it, there's always a hole. So no matter who Arujo plays with, if the other person is faster, they match him up with the other person. So if we play Atletico Bilbao, where did they put Iñaki Williams? They don't put Iñaki Williams against Arujo anymore. They did it last year, but then Arujo pocketed him. They've never put him against Arujo again. They make sure to put Iraqi Williams against Eric Garcia. When every time we play somebody, they put the fastest, strongest striker up against either PK or Eric Garcia. That collapses, and then Arujo has to rotate to help. And then guess what? There's a hole behind Arujo. Busquets is not fast enough to recover. So we're gonna get into that stuff. It's very plain and clear to see. But for some reason, like I said, these emotional fan channels just refuse to see it because they're it's easier to push the narrative on Koeman out because that's what the media is pushing. So that's what's selling. It's clearly what sells, and it's easier just to push that to get more clicks, to get more money. But they're not really Barcelona fans. They're just journalists. These fan channels are just fake journalists making money off of the name of Barcelona, destroying the name of Barcelona. So now, I'm not gonna allow them to destroy the name of the club I love. You know what I mean? This club means more to me than it clearly means to them. So I'm not going to allow them to destroy. I'm going to keep this positive. I'm going to keep it up and going, and we're going to see. So we're going to get into some stuff. We're going to get into some real stuff, and this is only for the real ones. So this is real talk, boss, for the real ones, because you don't know. You don't have to tell nobody. Peace.